Welcome, everybody, to another goddamn horror podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jonas Barnes. We are doing our Patreon early and then YouTube video void episodes on extreme horror. This is the second one. The first one that I just did, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, is for the movie Vulgar from the View Askewniverse, which is like one of their first View Askew movies that was not directed by Kevin Smith. He's just in it. Um, and that one's about Brian O'Halloran, who plays Dante in Clerks. He plays a clown that goes to the wrong house, and then some real fucked up shit happens to him, and then he has to get those clowns back. And if you know anything about extreme horror, you can guess what those things were. So that's the
Can I
first
just
episode.
jump in real quick about Brian
Yeah,
from Clerks? He's on the floor right now, the game show with Rob Lowe, crushing it.
I've heard that, dude. Yeah,
Absolutely destroying. He's great.
yeah, I've heard he's been doing great. Like
Yeah.
he's doing a lot better. And like, shout out to Brian O'Halloran. He's cleaned his life up a lot because he had some real bad addiction and drinking problems for a little while there, and he's cleaned himself up. So good
Well,
for
he's
him on that
smart
one.
as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. He's very funny. And that voice right there is Graham. Graham is here for this one. As with these Patreon slash
Here
video
for the
void extreme,
ride.
the sometimes it'll be just me, sometimes it'll be other hosts as well, but we're always gonna have a guest, and we have a fucking awesome return guest here tonight. And you guys have heard her on other shows. She is the editor-in-chief of Dread Central. She is a fantastic director, and she is just an all-around badass. MaryBeth McAndrews, what's up? How you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here talking about this fucking movie.
Ooh, this one is
I was very excited to see you in Brooklyn when Bystanders
I
played.
know.
And that was fucking rad. It was so good to see that film on this big screen. It was great.
And it was so
played
good to meet
well.
you in person. I feel like
Yeah.
it's like so often and I meet so many cool people just online. And so to like see
Yeah,
you
yeah.
in real meet space, it's cool. And also
Exactly.
like that you're getting to see it on the big screen is cool.
It
And
was so
yeah.
rad.
I was so bummed that I didn't
Yeah.
get to see it. I was gone, so I wasn't able to do it. But man, if you guys haven't watched Bystanders yet, then what the fuck are you doing with your life? You
It's
need to
on
go and
Tubi.
watch it. Like seriously, it's so
It's
No
good.
excuses.
I mean, if you're watching these episodes, you know that we're gonna talk about like rape revenge movies and stuff, and whew, Bystanders is fucking one of the best ones out there. So yes, absolutely support the shit out of it. It's so good.
It's in my
Thank
top 3 of all
you.
time.
Yeah.
With
One of my recommendations today at the end of the episode is actually one that me and Mary Beth have talked about that is one of my like fucking tip tops. So
well, I'm probably gonna spoil it now because my top 3 is it's not called Miss 45 and I almost
fantastic.
said Love in a 45. Which is a completely different movie. But Miss 45 and Revenge.
Yeah.
And Bystanders is right there.
Yep.
My top 3. So
Good company to be in. It's a real good company to be in.
Neat. Wow. Neat.
So
Thanks. Wow.
really legit, like it's like we've talked about this before with like rape revenge movies. Like when they're good, they're great. When they're not
Yeah.
good, they're like so bad. But when
Yeah.
they're hard to
when
watch.
good,
They're not
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's yeah. Oh yeah.
Those are three of some of the best. So
Yeah.
the movie that we're talking about today, I don't know, you can kind of call it rape revenge, but like it's pre-rape revenge, like in the
Yeah.
sense that like it's preventative rape revenge, I guess is what we want to call this, like preventative rape revenge. It's the movie Hard Candy, which Graham, you revisited this one today, and
Yeah, I hadn't seen it since I don't know, maybe when did it come out?
2005 is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I probably watched it like right when it hit rentals,
Yeah.
and was I remember I watched it again today for the first time and I was shocked at how gory it wasn't.
Zero.
Yep.
There's like zero gore.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
how little anything you really see. And that was what shocked me because I remember it being horrific.
And it
like
is, but
and leaving
yeah.
it feeling like I had just seen a lot of shit, but I had not. It had all been done through really great filmmaking, honestly.
Yeah. So this one, it's like, so first off, to set the frame a little bit here, set the place. We got Elliott Page. This is Elliott Page's first major role, and
like
this is
what a fucking
right?
Yeah.
Like, this is pre-Juno. So most people that saw Juno were like, I think I'll go and check out the rest of Elliott Page's stuff. They're like, what's this
Oops.
one called Hard Candy? And it's just like, oh boy, that is a different energy than Juno for sure. Um,
Yeah.
and Elliott Page plays a 14-year-old that goes into the internet chat room straight up like To Catch a Predator style and honey traps Patrick Wilson. Uh, Good old fucking Ed Warren himself.
Daddy. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
It's
can't.
okay. It is okay. It's
It's
okay.
he's so foul in this movie. He's not daddy in this movie. I just have to clarify that.
For sure.
He's foul, but he's daddy in a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just had to
He,
clarify that.
no, he does pull it off in a lot of other ones. This is definitely not the one. Um,
No, absolutely not.
not
It's
in this one. Um,
no.
Super small cast. There's only like 5 people. One of them is
Yep.
Sandra Oh, who's in there for
Yeah,
like 10
what?
seconds.
What
Like,
the fuck? I forgot
yeah,
that she was in this
right.
movie.
Yo,
For like
I
10
legit
seconds.
do not like her character in this movie at all. And it's because here's as a babysitter, she was always looking for a new babysitter. That's not good. Like
So,
that means she sucks.
just
No joke.
door to
No
door
joke.
babysitter.
She
Like,
said
yeah,
a few times, she was like, I'm always looking for a new babysitter. I'm like, you never trust those parents, the ones that are always looking.
It's true.
straight from
It's
Graham's
true.
mouth.
Yeah,
Straight from Graham's mouth. Graham, for anybody that doesn't know, he's a Manny, which,
I am.
yeah,
I didn't know you were a Manny.
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
awesome.
Yep. So he
Neat.
knows it. Yeah, he knows what's up. Yeah, she's
Oh
in it for
God,
like I
yeah.
said, like 15 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. The movie really is just Elliott Page and Patrick Wilson for the whole
Yep.
runtime. And the thing that I think is so interesting about this movie is that when you watch it and you watch the performance that Elliott Page is giving, it's psychopathic, but in the best way. It's measured, it's calculated. For a 14-year-old, it's like so unnerving, but you're rooting for him the whole time. So you're in Elliot's corner the whole time. But then
Yep.
watching it is just like it makes my skin crawl because it's like, oh, that's a psychopath in training right there. Like 100%.
And also, like, Elliot Page is actually a child. He's not like, it's not like an adult playing a child. Like, it's a legitimate child. So I don't, there's just like a layer of like that realism of a kid being so
Yeah,
calculated
that's
is
what
like,
hits really hard in that performance.
well, so, oh, I don't want to interrupt. Sorry. I just had,
No, no,
No,
go,
no.
go, please. Yeah, jump right
so
in.
what, what is your, what is y'all's experience with chat rooms as teenagers?
Very
So,
Did
little.
you have experience with this?
Not
I'm
really. I was on
curious.
message boards a little bit just for
Okay.
jokes. That was about it.
Okay.
I never got into the message board thing. I'm a little older than that, I think.
Okay.
so I grew up I like to say that I grew up with the internet because the internet happened when I would say maybe 15, 16. That's
Yeah.
when it started to really happen for my upbringing. So with
Okay.
chat room stuff, like I definitely was like about them. Like I knew them, I knew what they were. And I remember the first time I went on to like an AOL chat room, and it was just randos. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I don't fucking like this at all. So like I backed out because I was just like, I don't want to talk to some random chode from the middle of the country. Like I don't know who this is, And I'm not the target person for a lot of these, creeps and shit on there. But I backed out of that really quick. So once it started to get into MySpace and stuff like that, then I became like all sorts of like messaging and chatting and stuff like that. But that was all within the wild wild west days of social media before we had all the shit that
Okay.
we have today. What about you?
Yes.
What's
Okay.
your experience?
Oh, you buckle up, motherfuckers. So
Mm,
I was a little bit of a psychopath as a child. Not okay. Maybe I'm being too rude to myself, but basically, my friend introduced me to the world of like teen chat rooms where you would get into these, you have these little doll avatars and like talk to strangers. And we at sleepovers would spend hours catfishing guys and like talking to them And I always like she ended up dating some of these guys. So
Oh my
hard
God.
candy like makes my skin fucking crawl because like this was the shit I was doing as like a fucking middle schooler and a teenager. And I was always like scared to talk to them alone. Like it was always fun to do at slumber parties because it was like, oh, hee hee, it's funny. But then like alone, I was always too chicken shit because I was like, I don't, it makes me uncomfortable. But my friend would do it all the time. And she would only date guys she met in chat rooms. And it
Ooh.
was like this super weird thing, like for like my entire like she was one of my best friends for like years, and she always dated these guys. And one of the this is like psychotic. I've like never told this story before. She'd never met this guy, and she'd been dating him for years. And he came to our prom, and the first day she met him was when we all met for our prom pictures. So like we were all meeting this guy for the
Oh
first
shit.
time
Oh my
for
God.
our senior prom.
Holy
And
shit.
he was like
Do you have a full mustache?
he actually was his age, but he was so weird. It was just like the most awkward situation. I was like, and I'd seen Hard Candy at this point, so I was like, oh my God,
Oh no.
like this is gonna be so fucked up. And all I could think about was Hard Candy. So like this movie just hits so hard because I would make, oh, it's so fucked up to say, but I would make like fake screen names and go on Neopets chat boards and like write fan fiction and then make friends and like have other like personas and different name like screen names and stuff online.
Yeah. So this one was
I
kind of
was a
a
lonely kid, guys. I was really lonely.
dude,
I was
I grew up in a smaller town in eastern Washington state. I had a bad alcohol tolerance, so I couldn't stay and hang out at parties for too long because I would get too drunk and pass out too fucking quick. I had like cops in my family, so my drug use had to be like on the low, but then I would like go back to my house the next morning and clearly had been like fried on acid for the night before. And like just walk into the house and they'd be like, "You had a fucking wild night, didn't you?" I'm like, "I'm going to bed for like ever."
You're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, don't talk to me. I'm going over here. No, like most of my internet experience was just like giving my parents computer aids when I would go onto like LimeWire or Kazaa, and I would download some shit that was just like, this is also funny. The first time I remember this happening because it made me laugh really hard. I went to download a track, and I remember this very specifically. It was Nirvana playing Enter Sandman because I was like, oh, that sounds like something at the time I would be very like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I downloaded it. It was not that at all. It was an artist that I wish was still with us, Wesley Willis. If you don't know who Wesley Willis is,
He's
look him up.
fantastic.
Yeah. So
He was.
I hit play on this song, and all of a sudden I hear a guy who sounds like an old blues singer singing "Suck My Dog's Dick." And I just started laughing so hard because I was
Oh
like,
man, the
I'm like,
LimeWire days,
dude,
baby.
wild, wild west. And then
So
next thing you know, my computer's going all fucking slow and everything. And I got to explain to my parents, they're like, I don't know, there was a guy singing "Suck My Dog's Dick," and now the computer doesn't work. And I know I'm grounded. Like,
the only all
bullshit.
right, so
Man.
my internet growing up, I guess it didn't really hit, and we didn't really have it at home until I was probably in my 20s. And I just started the as soon as I found the internet, I was like, oh, I can download music from it. And so I started doing that, and then I got really upset because I thought about how much I was stealing from actual artists. So I started sending like a couple dollars to any band that I downloaded. That got pretty expensive quick. But I did try to download this one thing. That's a weird off thing. I did try to download Chinese Telephones. They're a punk band from Texas, I think, a long time ago. It's probably 2005 or so. And what I got was Crispin Glover's album,
What the fuck?
which was not what I was expecting. And I had never heard Chinese
Hell
Telephones,
yeah.
and people were like, they're
Hell
great.
yeah, brother.
And yo, Crispin Glover is like, he's awesome, but he's not well. Like,
It's a very good way of putting it.
like, I love him.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic, but he's kind of legit scary.
He is legit scary. Like, just, yeah. Like, dude, when I first saw the movie Willard with him, Like
Oh,
Oh my
when I saw
God.
his
I've
version
been
of it.
looking for that again. I watched Willard and Bennett, and I've been looking for his Willard for years now.
Dude, he also like I felt bad for him because he was the one that was cast in the lead for that Wizard of Gore remake, which was like I felt bad.
Oh,
Yeah, I felt bad because like if you're gonna remake a movie like Wizard of Gore, for niche fans, like that's got to be a fucking banger of a remake for anybody to not shit on
yeah.
it. It was not. It was not a banger of a remake. It was Crispin Glover did great because, you know, he's insane. And in that part, he got to really embrace that, but everything else about it was trash compared to, you know, the original. So I felt bad because it was like, oh man, there's like no perfect part for Crispin Glover except that, and then the rest of the movie surrounding it was just like, oh, it's like bummer, man. Um, so when I put this out there for people to pick a extreme movie, Mary Beth was one of the first ones that popped on there with the eyeballs, like, hey, like, and I was like, oh yeah, well, let's like, you know, like, let's talk about this. And we settled on Hard Candy because me and Mary Beth have gone back and forth many times about extreme horror, specifically rape revenge, stuff like that. And Hard Candy, like I said, it's like the best way to explain it is pre-rape revenge because Elliot honeypots, you know, Patrick Wilson. And I want to point out a part early in the movie because it was kind of fucked up when I watched it. I was like, it was one of the first scenes that you see Elliott Page, and I could immediately tell that was like, oh fuck, he knows exactly what he's doing. And it was when he turns around, when he's at the you know, at the coffee shop, turns
Yeah.
around and sees Patrick Wilson for the first time. There's like the chocolate on his lip, and he does like that
Uh-huh.
little like coy thing and like, you know, kind of makes Patrick Wilson point out the chocolate on the lip, you know, so that he can wipe it off and everything. And I'm just like, oh no. Like Elliot really knows how to play this part. And it was so creepy. Like immediately it was unnerving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the thing about this movie that I think if you were to put anybody else in that part, in the Elliot Page part, the movie wouldn't have been as effective because Elliot plays it so well. Like that's the part that really fucks with me is that this child actor is playing this part that is unfortunately very real. Like I just how do you think that you would approach a part like that as a kid and just being like, okay, I'm gonna give my all to this, and then to pull off that kind of performance.
I think what's really sad about it to me, and I thought about it more like this time watching it, is it feels it's easy for someone to slip into that when you've been conditioned to be a certain way. And I mean, I don't know how Elliot Page was raised, but I also know when you're raised as a woman, because obviously Elliot Page is a man, but at this point he was living and identifying as a woman and was like living as a woman before he transitioned. And when you live a certain way and are kind of conditioned to be around men in a very certain way, it kind of is like a fucked up realization to see almost how easy it is for certain people to slip into it. And maybe again, I might be reading too much into it and just thinking about my own experiences, but I think like it's kind of so upsetting to me that a child can even know, and like how at 14 you do know like how to slip into a very particular way and how to be around men, and it's really gross and fucked up, but like when I look back at myself when I was 14 it was very similar. And it's like this movie is so deeply uncomfortable in the way like, in confronting the ways that we sexualize young children, and it's like even better with Elliot Page because he looks like a kid. Like there isn't there's no attempt to sexualize the young body at all. You know what I mean? Like I feel like so disgustingly often the female body, like the young female body is sexualized. And here he's got short hair, he's in just like a t-shirt and jeans, and I love that he
Very
just looks like a
androgynous.
kid. Yeah, like he looks like a kid. He doesn't look like a sexualized teenage girl in like a Hollywood way, which makes it again even more disgustingly realistic and like makes him really look like a pedophile because he looks like a child. Like it's not like,
Hmm.
you know, like there's no attempt to kind of I feel like a lot of the time in cinema, there's like you have an older actor play, so there's like a disconnect. Like you don't really think about it because it's like you don't want to really draw attention to someone being attracted to an underage kid. But here, David Slade is like, nah, motherfuckers, we're really gonna make you uncomfortable from like the first frame, and we're gonna make it undeniable that this guy's a fucking nasty ass. And maybe you're supposed to like question it, but I never questioned it when I first watched it to now. I never questioned that he was like a nasty fuck. I never
For
doubted
sure.
it.
No,
Because
Well,
I,
no.
also
yeah.
like the opening frames are the typing, you know, like, and it's the opening
Yeah.
frames are the chat room. And like when you're watching it, like again, this is like, I don't know, I think this is probably the third time I've seen it. I think I've seen it twice over the years. But when I was watching it this time, when I was watching like the chat room parts, I was just like, oh fuck. Like that's very real. And like I
Thong
rem
girl.
dude,
And
yeah,
then he
yeah,
calls her
exactly.
that in real life. And I was like,
Yeah.
uh, uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Oh,
uh.
dude.
He
Dude, there
said
was
a
a lot.
lot of really gross things.
Yeah,
And
there
like
was a lot.
he knows how old she is. Like there isn't I don't know. There it's just. And it's
It's
so
ick.
interesting. Patrick Wilson as the casting is so smart too because he's a younger, attractive guy. He's not the typical like cretin online. And the casting in this is so perfect because it's like exactly I think it achieves so much so quickly. And besides them being really good performers, just like the visual juxtaposition is just like I feel like again, going back to thinking about like other movies, you could think of it as like, oh man, he's so lucky getting a hot young piece of ass. But here it is so obviously again like you can't like there's no excuse for you to even remotely think that. Like we are very much setting this up as a very repulsive power dynamic
Mm-hmm.
that is like actually different than the kind of power dynamic you expect, but still like I don't know.
More
I
concerned
just
with
yeah.
age than with looks too.
Yeah,
Yep.
like we
Yep.
figured that. Yep, like as the movie goes on, it's just like, oh no, no, he's really about the age aspect of it, and like that was the other thing. Like, so this is David Slade's first movie. Like, this is David
I
Slade's
know. It's
first like
fucking
feature film.
He
Like,
follows
crazy.
up with a pretty banger of a vampire movie too,
yeah,
though.
legit, dude. Like David Slade, he knows his shit, man. Like,
That's how
fucking
I
third,
found Hard Candy because 30 Days of Night was like my favorite movie for years. And
so
I was like, I
good.
have to watch his
So
stuff.
good.
And I watched Hard Candy and I was like, this is a very different movie than 30 Days of Night. Whoa. Shit.
Yeah. And like, so that was the other thing that's like crazy about it, because I want to bring this up too with David Slade. This being his first movie, the camera shots, the way that it was filmed, the
Hmm.
pacing on it, like the way that he fucks with light and the way, but like not in a way where it's like shadows and shit, like the way that it's actually lit. The way
Yeah,
that the
it's
movie is,
bright.
yeah.
I think there's like a muted color to the first half, maybe
Mm-hmm.
give or take. And
Hmm.
it's very like through McCabe and Mrs. Miller sort of almost fuzz, through the what did they use? I don't know. It
I know
was
what you're talking about.
like a stocking or whatever. It just
Yeah,
had this
yeah.
like muted thing, but it was mostly on the colors and stuff. And it kind of gave me this because a lot of the times, like when they're trying to show who's right and who's wrong, like it's very, and I'm not saying like one of them was right. I'm saying one of them was there to do horrible physical damage, and the other was also. But like it's kind of muddling it until it turns, and then it gets
Yeah.
really much clearer and like shiny, and you can see the sweat
Hmm.
really closely and stuff, and it's bright and it's weird. Like I really like that.
The way I interpret that is I think the first part of the movie was a fantasy in the sense that like it was literally Patrick Wilson's fantasy in the first part of the movie.
Oh yeah,
And
okay.
then when he
Hmm.
wakes up from the
Yeah.
drugs, then it's real. Like, and then it's no
Yeah.
longer this
Yeah, that
like,
makes more sense than my
y-
weird.
no. What you said makes sense because I wasn't even thinking about this until like you really brought it up. Because when I was watching the
Yeah.
movie, I noticed it too, that like the beginning of the movie is kind of almost has a haze to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a haze.
Yeah.
And then once he wakes up from that first drugging, and he's kind of like looking around and he's tied to this chair, And then Elliott Page comes up and just like, hi, like just a little wake up, and is like very coy with him at first. And
The
like,
pink ring room, like, also always seemed very in focus too. I'm sure
mhm,
that
Yeah.
was a dastardly reason behind that. But
yeah.
Well, and
So,
I'm just like rewatching it right now. It's interesting how it goes. Like as soon it's like they're in that room and it's very soft. It literally feels like the rose-colored glasses type thing. And as soon as she gets up and runs out, everything gets really sharp and yellow.
yeah,
And that's when again, like you're saying, that realization that he's being drugged. And it's like it is really interesting how Slade uses contrast and color and clarity to really again like it sounds so silly, but really to portray getting actual mental clarity versus
mhm,
again in that fantasy kind of world and cloud he's living in.
yeah.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
like what they did with the script was really interesting too, because in the beginning of the movie, one of the things that Elliot Page says is like, I think that he says like 8 out of 10 people agree that I'm insane or something like that, as like an
Four out of
off,
five
Yeah.
4 out of
doctors.
5 doctors. Yeah, that's what it was. Just as like an off joke, like ha ha ha. And then it comes back later in the movie and he's like, I told you that I was insane.
Yeah.
I told you that 4 out of 5 doctors said it. I wasn't lying. Like, and they did that, like they peppered those little things in throughout the script to where they were these little like breadcrumbs and Easter eggs that would come back when the power dynamic shifts. And
Hmm.
that's one of the things that I think with this movie, especially when you're talking about movies that are rape revenge movies and stuff like that, this is one of the earliest examples I can see where the power dynamic flipping was done in a very realistic and not exploitative way. Because like
Hmm.
obviously I Spit on Your Grave and like all those, like those were like grimy and it was done very exploitatively. Whereas this power dynamic shift, it happens in an instant, and then from that point on, it's like, nah, dude, he's fucked the whole time. Like, and it's
Yep.
just like he is just fucked at this point. And it's like, at what, like, then it's just like, but how fucked is he? And that's what the rest of the movie is about. It's just like, it's almost like a mental version of Saw. Like, it's little saw traps that are not gory,
Oh,
but they're in the head. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there's times where he has the opportunity to get out of it. Like, maybe he can wiggle himself free. Like, there's even a part during, by the way, for anybody watching this, spoilers aplenty. There will
It's
be
a little
spoilers
late.
Yeah.
like all over the place. Like, but I will always put that before I post these episodes. But the castration scene, the castration scene
It's
is,
rough.
it's
You
rough,
never
but
see anything, and then you're like, woof. You can feel it. The tug. When she
yeah,
says you're
yeah,
gonna feel a tug, I
yeah,
felt the tug.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you have testicles at all, you're just like, oh, 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 like. But at the same time, you're also like, cut his fucking balls off. Cut his fucking balls off. Um,
Yeah.
My
but it,
wife was like, she's gonna do his dick too, right?
yeah, yeah, the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah, the whole thing. And I also like that she just used ice for the numbing, which was just like, that was like, that actually made me like
Oh man.
chuckle.
It's just like it's just like you're piercing your friend's ear at a party. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like you're just doing that. Like, and I think that's what like I love this because like he's a teenager, but this movie also captures like teenage girls being psychotic, like as I described, like my psychotic obsession with like being like catfishing people online, like making different personalities on the internet because I was a lonely child. Like I I never did this, unfortunately, but like I
Shucks.
just love how this captures like hell as a teenage girl, but like before Jennifer's body in a way. And
Hmm.
but like hell as a teenage girl positive, like don't fuck with teenage girls. You underestimate us. You think we're innocent little, like innocent, easily manipulatable creatures, but we see your games. And like it's very, and I watched this as a teenager and I was like, fuck yeah, because I had been working in restaurants at this point and had been like treated weirdly by men already and like had shitty boyfriends. And like this movie was very much a like, oh,
Hmm.
oh, kind of thing for me. It meant a lot to me as a teenager to watch this basically.
I can see that. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
definitely.
pretty.
This
Yeah.
the other there's certain things that gets captured in this movie that I think are like also stuff that I feel like a lot of writers and directors could take from in a good way, meaning like just as far as like structure goes. One of them was like right when he walks into the house and he looks at all of the pictures on the wall. It's like, who are all these people? Oh, those are just models. Like these are just people that I take pictures of and blah blah blah. Because Patrick Wilson's a photographer, that's his trade. And then later on in the movie, when Patrick Wilson's trying to fucking talk his way out of this whole thing, and he's like, "Oh, I've had pictures that have been in like Time magazine, and I've done these
Yeah.
nature ones and all this,"
I
and
take
then
pictures of other things.
yeah, not just underage girls. And then Elliott Page is like, really? Then why the fuck are all the pictures on the wall just the underage girls? What about these other important photos? And you can see it in his face. He's just like, fuck. He's too smart for
But
me. Like,
but it's also like he thinks she's stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's not even like Elliot's character. Obviously the character is smart, but it's also again like older men thinking that young women are just like dumb and don't
or
pay
just dumb.
attention.
Yeah.
And like again, I have too much experience with that, and it's just like incredible to watch and have a movie where a kid is allowed to like basically spit in the face of an adult and say like go fuck yourself. We
Mm-hmm.
don't, like teenage girls don't get that opportunity in a serious way. Like yeah, we get it, and it's like I don't know, like there's you see it in movies in certain ways, but this like really feels like teenage girls getting to really like claw at the disgusting, nasty eyes of old men who are like constantly looking at them in the most disgusting way possible. Like,
I fully
yeah,
agree.
Fuck yeah.
it's fucking like just like, growing up as a teenage girl fucking sucks. Like, it's disgusting. Like, my dad's friends used to hit on me and like try to buy me alcohol when I was like a
Uh,
teenager.
nope.
Yeah. It's
Ew.
bad.
A lot of ick.
Bad. A lot of ick. A lot of like
Yeah.
weird late night Facebook messages from older men when they were drinking and I was not quite 18 yet. Like very weird. People who had known me since I was a kid.
Nope. Don't like that. Nope.
Nasty.
No. Very gross.
Nasty.
Dude, I grew up
Nasty.
with a sister, like, and I was the older one by a lot. So I was like damn near an adult when my little sister was just hitting her like early teens. And
Uh,
I heard
uh.
people make comments and shit, and it was like, I will fucking kill you. Like, I will don't. What are you doing? Like, and it wasn't even things that were just like blunt and out in the open. It was shit that was under the surface, like the way that people would make comments and stuff. And it's like, bro, I have cops in my family. We can find a place to hide your body. Like, keep your fucking tongue in your mouth, you nasty fuck. And like, I saw it too many times. Which one is too many times, but like in the grand scheme of things, also, I saw it way too many fucking times. And like, my little brother was closer to my sister's age, and my little brother is the one that would go to war with people when they would say that type of shit because he also had like the
Um,
unfiltered little boy mouth where he was just like, "What the fuck did you just say about my sister?" And I was the one just like, "He's gonna get you. Like he's gonna fuck you up."
he's
Like,
gonna get you.
yeah.
He's gonna get you.
Um. So yeah, like this movie, I think captures that. It captures that energy where it's like the guy thinking that the teenage girl is stupid, also thinking that he has an advantage no matter what. Like no matter what situation he's in, he always thinks that he has the one up, over
He keeps
Elliot's
thinking he can talk his way out of it.
the whole time. Even though it's been proven throughout the whole movie that Elliot Page is about to like fuck his world up and has it all planned out, he still thinks that he can talk his way out of it.
Elliot Page is playing like fucking 4D chess. This motherfucker's playing checkers. Like it's
Like
just like
legit.
so funny.
Yeah.
Like when she puts on like when Haley is the character Elliot Page is playing, Haley like puts on his blazer and his glasses and it's just like fuck you. I don't. It's just
Yeah.
like she so easily puts like can just like fuck with him and it's beautiful.
It is. There's
It's
It
so many
just
is.
so
times.
cool. Oh yeah.
That's one of the weird juxtapositions about like the emotional energy in this movie too, because on one hand of it, it's super gross, of course, and it's very icky and it makes your skin crawl. But on the other hand of it, there's parts like that where Elliott Page is straight up fucking with him and like poking at him and prodding at him like you can't get out. You're
Yeah.
fucked. And it kind of makes
Yep.
you also cheer it. You're just like, oh well, now I'm happy. And then he says something gross again. You're like, ugh, but now it's gross again. So it's like this emotional tug of war, which I think is good. Like I actually like getting that out of the movie because there's not like one core emotion that you feel the whole time. It
it,
keeps
it
you kind of
made
on
it
that
made
roller
me
coaster.
feel happy for mental torture, and that's not something I get to be happy about a lot. So it's fun when I get to,
When
you
you get to
know.
sit
Well,
down and
and
just be like, fuck with him.
well,
Yeah.
and it's like it really because again, like this is like it's an hour and 45 minutes long and it's like a single location, two character movie. It's hard to make something like this engaging, you know what I mean? Like, and it's
Hmm.
really impressive to see how Slade and the two actors and the other complications that obviously get thrown in, but like the way that again, it is so interesting to me that some of the best rape revenge movies are this simple, like in a single location.
Hmm.
And I think it's really fascinating to me how like this is the indie like kind of micro budget subgenre, like micro budget world is where all of these incredible films are being made, and it's really fascinating to me that like bigger budget films won't tackle like things like this, and it's just I don't know, it's
When they even try, they fumble it or pull back, and
yeah, exactly. And
we
it's
get
just like,
bullshit.
I don't know. It's just, it's exciting to talk about things like this that are being made in 2005 that like, were a precursor to a lot of really interesting things going on now, and being able to highlight like the importance of these like these indie genre films is good.
To get
And I don't know,
to
yeah.
get technical real quick about Slade and his work in it, I loved he did something throughout the whole thing where he would do the lead up to the reveal shot and then not reveal anything. Like
Yep.
there were a lot of times when you're like, here it comes, and then nothing. And
Hmm.
there was that like weird release was great. And they talked about the pictures all over the apartment. You never saw any of the pictures except for like one part at the end.
Yeah.
The only pictures you saw were of the woman that he actually loved, Janelle, or had actually maybe I don't know. I don't think saying love, but I think
I get
she's the
what you're
Yeah.
one
saying.
that kind of broke him.
Well, and
Maybe.
it's
Yeah.
like it's so interesting that this movie is so often talked about in extreme horror because, like we've said, it's not bloody, but I think like what
Yep.
fucks with people is the subject matter.
Yep.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously the subject matter, and then just like how far the psychological stuff goes. I think like so often with extreme horror, we think about it's always gore and nasty and blood everywhere. But I think also films like this do count in terms of like how it, like the extreme lengths it goes to your, like how it takes your emotions to like the furthest extreme of stress and tension and puts you through the emotional ringer. I think those kinds of films aren't talked about as much. And this movie really does deserve like such accolades for what it accomplishes with so little, like even in terms of gore or like effects. It's just fucking crazy editing and the power of suggestion. It's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
It is, and like also the way it escalates is very much like an extreme horror movie. Like it escalates
She's
the
a
way that
serial killer. Like
a
Haley's a
thousand
serial
percent.
killer. And like
It's
I
very,
love
very
that, but like
dextery. Yeah.
very Dexter
14.
and
What is it?
but like
PhD.
yeah,
Doogie
like
Doogie Howser.
yeah,
Dexter
like
Hauser.
Haley does not feel like this is her first time doing it. Like the way that Paige plays this character is incredible again for a 14-year-old, and the way that he is so assured in his performance and is so confident. It's like it's wild. It's just it's like it's when I watched it again, when I first watched it, I was like, there's no way like this has to be an adult playing a kid. But when I realized it's a kid, it just like it just blows your fucking mind. And I had
Hmm.
Yeah.
seen Juno, so I was like, there's no way that this is Juno.
Get
No
out of here.
way. Get out of
Yeah.
here. But it's just like again, it's because Elliot Page looks so young, like has the baby face, is a kid. It really looks like a kid that it feels so harrowing. Like this is a child. This isn't, there's no way I can just kind of disconnect myself from thinking about her, like their age.
Yeah. And that's like, I agree with that 100%. This goes to another one. Like when I was watching, I remember when I watched the movie X, you know,
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
So when I watched that one and Jenna Ortega did her scene, I was
Hmm.
like, ick, because like Jenna Ortega looks super young. Like, and Jenna
Yeah.
Ortega's not super young, but like, I mean, she's young, but she's not like a teenager. But she has that face, she has that look, she has that frame.
Yeah.
And when you put her in a movie that where she's not all glammed up and everything, like she still looks very childlike. And it's like, so you see that movie and it's just like, ew. Like you see the gory stuff in that movie, but then you see that part and it's like, yuck. And then it also happened with Miller's Girl, which is not a horror movie, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
also it's another honey trap thriller. And that one, it's the same thing. Like Jenna Ortega has that look where it's just like ick. Like it's that thing where it's just like it's the age look, it's the everything like that. And what Elliott Page does with this one, it goes even a step further, like we were talking about before. Now you got the androgyny in there. Now you've got the very plain clothes teenager. You've got this person who in no way, shape, or form looks sexualized at all, and you have
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson who just straight up all about the age, because there was some like during a back and forth, Elliot says at one point like, "Oh no, I've been watching you for a long time. Like you backed out as soon as one of these ones was over 14." You know?
It's like it's a grimy Lolita. You know what I mean? It's not
For
this
sure.
like
Yeah.
it's not this like, oh, we were so in love. It's very much just like the, oh, this is if like Lolita, like an actual Lolita, but she, like, this guy wanted a Lolita story, but actually go fuck yourself, you
He
fucking
got
freak.
Dexter. He
Ah,
really did get Dexter.
that's what you get when you let your heart win.
Dexter Hauser, MD.
So when you're watching this, how like just looking at the characters, does this strike you as a person who's done this before?
Yeah,
Yeah, I felt like
absolutely.
Yeah.
this was not her first, their
Go
first
around?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Haley
Yeah,
has
no.
it was could Haley talked about doing like talking to tons of people,
Mm-hmm.
like and having a bunch, and how he stalked her, and like
And groomed her. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
so
he did the grooming.
I
Yeah,
think she
so
had a lot set out. Yeah,
I do too. I think that, and again, like as someone who was doing this kind of stuff on chat rooms when like at inappropriate ages, it doesn't surprise me that someone would learn very quickly at a young age how to trick men and how easy it is to trick men online. And I have like a whole headcanon in my head about like a friend, like how it happened, and it's just like it definitely, she's too good at it for this and too confident for this to
Mm-hmm.
be her first time,
I felt
you
like the
know?
whole act of doing it for the first time too felt like she was putting on an act about
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
this is so
absolutely.
easy.
Well,
Like,
like
I
at
had
one
no
point
idea.
when I first watched the first time I watched this, I was like, oh, she's gonna reveal she's not actually a kid. Like I was like fully expecting her to be like,
Has
I'm
to,
actually
right?
an adult, I'm an adult woman. Like not actually. And the fact that she is a teenager is just like fucking crazy. But also again just shows you underestimate kids. You underestimate like how angry they are and how much they learn and how much they can take in. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I like that there was no backstory given to Haley. Like there was really no,
Yeah.
like there was that they didn't need to.
You
Like
see nothing from Home Life.
nothing.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
That's great.
The
We're
Which
not
computer
seems
trying to
like,
make it
screen,
like
maybe.
dad. There's like no daddy issue. We're not trying to like do daddy issues. We're not trying to
yep.
like
Yeah,
rich kid stuff. We're not trying to make some like trauma backstory. Like it's just like, nah, this is just a pissed off kid that is
it's
so
not
fucking,
giving her an excuse,
Nope.
yeah.
No
And
which
it's not
tropes.
she
trying to
doesn't
like,
need.
and she's
Yeah.
not trying to make like a tragic backstory. Like I'm an avenging
Right,
angel with a traumatic backstory. It's just like I'm
exactly.
pissed off at you motherfuckers taking advantage of young girls.
It's
Yeah.
just like I'm about to go kill some pedophiles. Like that's just
Yeah,
all it is.
yeah.
It's like
So
straight up.
I thought I just want to bring this up. I thought it was
Yep.
kind of cool that they brought up Roman Polanski, because fuck
Yes.
that dude.
Podcast.
Just name dropping him in this movie is pretty great. And then there was a Jodie
Short of
Foster
looking at the
dig.
camera and winking at us, like it was just kind of
but
like
there was a Jodie Foster dig. Let's talk about that. What's that about?
there was, and I remember.
I mean, I know reasons not to. Was this right around the time that she started working with Mel right away after he got fucking Mel Gibson? Mel Gibson, for anybody that's wondering, Mel Gibson said some pretty shitty shit a long time ago, and Jodie Foster was like the first one to defend him and put him in her movies.
He probably said some pretty shitty shit like this morning too. So like,
for sure. But
person,
like, I've been hearing like, I don't know. I always like Jodie Foster. I'm hoping she's not crap, but like, she has been like very vocal about supporting him, and
there's been some weird supportive shit like that too when it comes to some people that are just real toilets in Hollywood. And like Mel Gibson is one. They're skin diapers.
Yeah.
They're just fucking terrible people. Just like, and Mel Gibson,
he can't get a studio job.
No, and that's like what I think is funny about like this made me laugh because the movie was so shitty, and it really, really made me laugh because they never advertised it as directed by Mel Gibson. They never pushed it in promos or press or anything, and you don't realize it's directed by Mel Gibson until the very last frame of the movie, and it just gives you the directed by Mel Gibson. And it was that new movie called Flight Plan with Mark Wahlberg where he's bald and he's like the psycho that's flying the plane. It is such it is such a terrible movie. And like Mark Wahlberg, also, not a good dude. But I always like laugh at him just being like the dumb Bostonian everyman. Whereas this one, he's like hamming it up and like really trying to act, and he can't do it. Like he's not good. They're using like shitty green screens, the fucking just real bad movie. And then the very end, directed by Mel Gibson. It's like, fuck you, Mel. They're not going to give you anything good to work with.
It's like a big fuck you at the end of it. It's like, gotcha.
It really is. Like, I have not heard him or seen him talk about that movie at all in press rounds. Not even on Joe Rogan.
I don't even remember it.
About it. Yeah. It just came out like, I want to say, 3 months ago, 4 months ago or something
really?
like that.
I had no idea.
It's so bad. It's like, it's hilariously bad. And then when the Mel Gibson thing comes on, like when
Flight Risk.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
okay.
what it is. Flight Risk, yeah.
Flight Risk. No, I still don't know.
No, dude, I watched it in the theater, and as soon as the directed by Mel Gibson popped on the screen, everybody started laughing because it was such a shitty movie. It was so bad. But yeah, this movie tackled a lot of different stuff, and like when I watched it the second time because we were gonna have this episode, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like watch this more. What's the best way to put it? Not critically, but I'm gonna dig into it a little bit more, like, and look at what I'm actually watching and everything. What are you seeing, MaryBeth?
I'm just laughing at the Flight Risk pictures of Mark Wahlberg's hair. I had to put it down. His fucking balding head. I just can't. It's too much.
Just to give credit where credit's due for Mark Wahlberg, by the way.
I do have a couple questions. Yeah.
I do want to give Mark Wahlberg credit where credit is due. He did not wear a bald cap. He did actually shave his head into horseshoe hair for the part. Which makes the shitty movie so much funnier. It's like, bro, it's like you horseshoed your hair for that fucking movie. Like did you watch
what? You fucking lame ass
dude? Like I feel like he had to have watched that movie and been like, oh my god, I shaved my fucking hair for this. Like just had to do that. Like, so good.
It did it for Mel.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Graham?
Just one question that I thought it was my only critique, I think, on the movie. Is when she tased him in the tub, wouldn't that have fucking killed him?
It might have.
Like, isn't that like a radio in the tub, like a toaster in the tub? Like, he was fully submerged and she was shocking him with a lot of volts, enough that when he was outside of the tub, it just put him right out. He was also pretty fucked up at that point, but like that part, I was like, I think he should have died there. Because that seems very intense.
I mean, it was a pretty intense scene.
It was great. I was just like, oh, he's dead now, right?
No, that's an interesting point because I think like with the rest of this movie,
the only thing I could think of is it wasn't grounded.
Which is possible. That actually could be like as far as
I don't know enough about electricity to know if that's even a thing. So
Continuity wise,
I
that could make sense that if it wasn't grounded or if it's something could be removed, because like obviously like if you put electricity into water and then remove the electrical source, it doesn't just keep shocking. That's not
it's
how that
true.
works. So
yeah.
like once it was removed, but also like that's another interesting thing about the movie, all the stuff that is torture in this movie you never see except for really the bath scene. Like you don't see the castration, you don't see any of the
It
other
gets
stuff.
it rarely gets violent. He kicks her pretty hard, and it took her out actually a little more than I thought it should. Even though very tiny person
Yeah.
kicked very hard, but like the wheelchair, I don't know if it could have gotten the gusto. Anyway, I'm nitpicking. I'm sorry.
No, no, I mean this is one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it, because it's one of those movies that like in a rewatch, there really is no fat to trim. Like there really like
No,
there's kind of just nothing that you really can take out of it. And like the pacing on it and everything again, especially for a first time, like it hits all the notes. Like emotionally it fucks with you. On a soul level it makes you feel icky. Visually the way that they're doing everything, and then also like when it comes to the later parts of the stuff that Haley's doing, like setting him up with the chair with the noose around his neck and stuff like that, like that part was crazy
so
because
good.
yeah, it was so good. And then that's when Sandra Oh shows up and
Ugh.
oddly fucks up the tension of that part, and then the tension gets brought right back. Like, but yeah, Sandra Oh's part in that again, like Graham doesn't like
Like I
it for
said,
that reason,
yeah,
but also it just kind of doesn't make sense. Like, it's not the only thing that I think made sense about that part is it showed something about Haley. So all this stuff is planned.
Mm.
All this stuff is orchestrated, planned out meticulously, which tells me that Haley actually is a psychopath. So all
Oh
this
yeah.
is,
Oh yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
very much. But then when Sandra Oh shows up, you can see everything start to unravel in Haley's head. Like
Hmm.
now there's that thing where it's like, oh, now there's tension. Now there's
it's the
like,
only
oh
real
fuck.
time she gets tripped up that's not physically.
Yeah.
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 It's also the only time she
He
shows
never
any
trips her
emotion.
up. He never trips her up, speaking wise. The only time he
Only a
does
woman can do it, not a man.
exactly,
Legit.
and so yeah, by he could only kick, and he did once. That was all he really had.
Then he
He was
stabbed
done
a
for
picture.
after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stabbing of the picture was wild. That's when he knew it was just all over, I think. And I think he was turning on himself. That also, I'm sorry, that final shot though, that like
Ooh.
monotone, like two color, like just silhouette sort of shit was
Hmm.
gorgeous. It
And
plays out so beautifully.
David Slade knows how to work with the cinematographer.
Yeah.
Like his music video, I don't know, like he's so good at making a good style. Like 30 Days of Night is also so
Oh, it's
gorgeous. Like
mhm.
he
and it's
knows how to
different than everything
craft.
else too. Like
Yeah, he knows how to craft an image, and I think he like especially here with the number of like close-ups and like angles and making the closed-in space feel so different. It really does show you like how good he is at working with his DOP and how much of like a director, like a visual director he is and focusing on the
absolutely, and
image he's creating.
it
It's
also
really cool.
shows big time in Dark Harvest, his most recent one,
Oh yeah.
which
Oh, that movie
Dark Harvest.
books.
Yeah.
it's so
Really does.
fucking good.
It's so fucking good.
So many
That was a
great
fucking
punk
badass
rock
movie.
misfits references and shit. So
Oh
great.
my God.
Yeah.
I love David Slade. Fucking
Yeah, no,
like
He's great.
apparently I do too. I was watching this, right? And my wife and I were like, I was like, oh, David Slade, I know that name. And he's either awesome or terrible.
30 Days of Night was like my hyperfixation comfort movie for like a year. It was like I
Yeah,
love that movie so much. Anyway, but that visual style is like really in like his visual style is so incredible and he it obviously expands in 30 Days of Night, but here again, like it's just so impressive
yeah,
what he's able to accomplish. And I always love seeing how directors work in these confined spaces and make them so visually interesting and different. And I think it's such an impress like he makes this house apartment feel like massive. I feel like you never really get a full sense of the geography of the house, especially like when he wakes up the second time and it looks like he's in like I know he's not in like like an actual hospital, but it
Like a
almost looks like
morgue, yeah.
like
Yeah.
it looks like
I
a
thought
surgery
they were down.
room.
Yeah, I thought they were down in a surgery room he had or something. It was
Yeah, and
crazy.
it's just like the way that they make the like they play with space and never let you, because again the camera's always so close on everyone. It's not,
It
it's
also,
always trained in. You don't get a sense of geography at all, and I love
which
that
kind
because
of
it
makes it feel
feels,
claustrophobic at the same time
yeah.
Yeah.
because he
Oh,
never shows the
absolutely.
walls. There's a
Yep.
couple pictures
Yeah.
he shows, but there's very, very little shots of the walls.
Well, and they're all red too. So it's got this like
Yeah,
super weird, like, I'm sorry to get all like Freudian, but like womb feeling too, like bloody, nasty, weird
100%.
feeling. And like they, the house is such a weird setup and color that it
yeah,
feels like, even though it's his house, right? It feels like a
yeah.
labyrinth in a way that only she knows, and he's a weird way. So yeah.
Yeah, like parts where he's like running through the house. Like it just
Yeah,
doesn't feel like a big space. It feels like a smaller space and it feels like
but
every
also it does feel gigantic.
yeah, at the same time, like it also feels expanded. Plus everything looks sterile. Everything
He's
like
got like such a nasty, like, I'm a photographer apartment with like my stupid, uncomfortable couches and like bare walls and very like purposefully ugly furniture.
And
mhm.
zero porn, except for where all the terrible, terrible porn
Yeah,
is.
for sure.
But like she brought up a good point. I was like, that's a really good point. A dude living at home, he's gonna have something
Yeah.
laying around. Like,
And she was trying to find all of it and she found it and there was all sorts of fucked up shit. And like when we were talking about the camera angles, that's another thing also with David Slade. He was a music video director prior to making this. And you can only tell that really in a couple of scenes where he starts using like the jump cuts a little bit, but they're done in a
Yeah.
way that's close up. So like the close up jump cuts also give it that like frantic, almost like fractured feeling of like where it's
Yeah.
going to go, which is
Mhm.
good because if you have a movie like this one and it's kind of just the same camera shots the whole time, it's going to get very, it's going to get very boring and it's going to get, you get kind of eyeball fatigue. So he flips it a little bit with that, which is cool. And then also during the castration scene, that camera angle is almost like a POV shot of Patrick Wilson because it's right
Yeah.
next to him. So you get
Hmm.
also that kind of additional tension to it.
you're
And
right up in his face too,
yeah,
like most of that time, and hers or
yeah,
theirs,
yeah. Well, and like also like
Haley's.
that's another part where Patrick Wilson starts like pleading for his life and then eventually he's like, if you're just gonna cut my dick and balls off, then just kill me. Which goes back to men being very attached to their genitals. Just being like, you're gonna
So
damage my
lame.
dick and balls, just put a gun in my mouth. Like, fuck off, dude. Like at this point, you know that you're caught. Like you know that you're in this fucked position. And it takes so long for him to come out with it finally. And when he does finally come out with it, it's not even to Haley. It's just to himself where he's like yelling into this void of his house and like stabbing the pictures and like freaking out and all this other shit. And then we get to the roof. The fucking roof scene. Like all of it. That whole like again, now you get a different kind of peril. You get like the slippery roof, the gravelly roof. Like, you think there's a possibility that Haley could fall off or that he could fall off or any of these other things. And then Haley does the
Is it
thing
weird? I was never worried that Haley was gonna fall off.
not worried about, but like it's a possibility depending on the
It
filmmaker.
didn't even cross my mind.
Really.
Just had the gun, like he was toast.
He was, but I think if you put it in the hands of the wrong filmmaker, that could be one final fuck you at the end of the
Yeah.
movie. And I like with this one when I'm watching it the second time, the thing that Haley does basically says like I'm going to give you an option. Like if you just admit it and like put the noose on your head, I won't tell anybody. Gives
Hmm.
him
Which is a
dang.
fucking lie.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, it's the greatest lie.
from the first time because she said it a few times, she gave him the chance, and
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Kill yourself. I'll clean all this up. No one will know. You'll die with pride and dignity." And
Fucking
you
called
knew
the
she was not going to do that.
No. Yeah. At no point did I ever think that she was going to. And I love that like Haley called the other person and told them to come to the house and like
Janelle.
set that whole thing. Yeah, set Janelle up to come to the house. Which also, again, the inclusion of Janelle. Who the fuck is that person? They were just there at the end to make it a more fucked up ending, which I love. Like,
Hmm.
you know nothing about this person. They're just gonna come watch this dude hang himself in his fucking off the end of his garage. And that's the only reason they were there. Which is fantastic. I
And
love
then
that.
find all that porn.
Yeah, find all the shit. Which is I I wish there was more hard candy. Like I wish there was more. I wish this like went farther than just the first movie.
This was like a Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way more
Yeah.
serious, but yeah. Like
Yeah.
Becky's one of those movies that I think I've talked to a lot of people about that movie. That's one of my favorite movies, that and the sequel. I thought the sequel was fucking hilarious.
I loved
Um
it. Yeah, I
the
dug it.
the one part in the sequel that still to this day will always get me is when the dude's crawling out of the barn and he's like, I have a wife, I have kids, don't kill me, blah blah blah, and she just finally goes, fine, what's your son's name? And you could see his face just go, oh fuck, his name's Adolf, and then she just fucking machetes the
It's
shit out of
so
him.
good. It's
Yeah, so great.
so good. So
Such a
good.
good one.
But like
um
there's just such this idea of like kids needing to be protected and to like again, I don't have children. I don't want children, so I that get caveats here. I like kids, I just not for me. I
No,
think we
that's
want
why I'm a manny. I don't want my own.
yeah,
Kids are fucking
it
rad,
is
and I want to teach the next generation how to be rad, but like not off
yeah.
not off the clock.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's just like I think so often kids aren't taken seriously, and I think that's always been a problem. And I think movies like this are hard for people to really grasp. And I think it is a taboo breaker in a way. And like but Becky's okay because it's funny and it's like over the top. It's not like Becky castrating a
And it's
pedophile in his
Nazis.
apartment. And it's Nazis, so it's like easier to like justify. And so it's just like it's frustrating that kids aren't taken as seriously. And like, yeah, I'm not saying we should like have a ton of movies about teenage girls castrating men, but like I wouldn't mind more of them. You know what I mean?
I
Like
feel
it'd
like
be a good
there's been I
subgenre.
feel like there's been a couple, but I don't think any of them hits like
mm-mm.
Elliott Page and Patrick Wilson, which this is I'm sorry, this is my only his only role that I like of him. I'm not a
Oh.
fan at
Just
all,
fair.
but he's incredible in this. Like the just the scumminess that seeps
Yeah.
through like the good looks and like the charm is perfect.
Yeah,
Yep.
Patrick Wilson he's one of those actors that I don't have a problem with his parts. Like Graham fucking hates the Conjuring movies, which is
I mean, I get
understandable.
it.
Like
You
It's fine.
know,
I don't need to get into it, but
and
yeah. I haven't
then
seen. I watched the first one. I haven't seen a single universe one since,
that's
and I
fair.
don't care
I think
to.
that's
That's totally
fine.
fair.
I don't really think you're missing that much.
I
I don't
don't think
know.
so.
Insidious is the other one that he's famous for recently in horror. And the Insidious series, I like the first one.
That's right.
The rest of them, nah, the rest of them aren't that great. But I like the first one. And he's done a lot of movies, but yeah, I think this one especially he does particularly well. And I think it's because he has to fall onto his acting. There's no other shit to distract you. There's no other there's no possessions. There's no fucking weird red door monster like an Insidious. There's
It's
no
just
fucking
him
nothing else.
completely exposed.
Yeah, so he really has
Yep.
to put on the performance of a lifetime. And
Yeah.
then you have that on top of it, you have Elliot Page across from him who's putting on a performance that is otherworldly. Like just incredible.
Years beyond his age.
Way beyond.
Like
I mean, it's crazy. It's like this was like the first performance you turned out as a teenager. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
it's like
It's the
absolutely
best fuck you, but
incredible.
also,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Like, I mean that with love. Like, fuck you,
Hmm.
dude. And I he makes it seem so easy in the movie, in like a movie that is, I mean, I can't imagine tackling this as as a kid. Like no matter how like mature you are, that's a lot to tackle, and it's got to be a mind fuck with an adult man. Like it's just like a lot of weirdness going on. And I like the movie, but David Slade's also a man, and like you're a teenager. Like I hope you have like fucking an advocate, because like
Mm-hmm.
I mean I don't know. It's just like one of those things where it's like I you will, if you think about it too hard, you get like a little bit of the ick, like, oh God, was someone there to advocate for like this young child on set who was probably surrounded by a bunch of dudes, and like what was that like for them, especially as like at the time a 14-year-old girl. Like,
Yeah.
god damn, like I don't know, it's just it's wild to think about. And
I
again,
feel
I'm not saying anyone was an asshole. Like I'm not saying I know anything about the set. It's just the vibe has got to be weird in general, no matter how nice everyone is. You know what I mean?
1,000%, yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think that if there was anything that was fucked up that happened on that set, I feel like Elliott Page would have said something by now. Just
Oh,
because, I
absolutely.
mean, because he's been pretty outspoken about a lot of different shit and like just in general. So I feel like if there was anything fucked up, it definitely would have come up. I got to meet, and when I say meet, this was my interaction with Elliott Page, and it's still probably my favorite famous person interaction ever. And it's because I was working my day job, which is a brand ambassador. I was in like the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and Elliot Page walks into the store, but it was right after the transition went public. So I was like, I'm not gonna call him out. I'm not gonna like, be like, oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
such a big fan. I'm not gonna fanboy out or anything like that. But he walked past me, and all I said was, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I loved you in hard candy. That was what I said. And then I got the wink and the smile and the thumbs up. Like fuck yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
then he left and I was just like, okay, I'm not an asshole because that was like
Hell
one of
yeah.
my favorite parts. But with this movie, so in a rewatch, Mary Beth, I'll put this to you. In a rewatch, where would you put this movie in as far as how much you liked it on a rewatch?
I like it even more, I think, because I haven't really rewatched it since I was pretty young. And I think I wanted to watch it because I was a little teenage edgelord baby. I wanted to like watch the movie about the guy's balls getting cut off, but the balls didn't even get cut off. And I was like, that's fucking lame. Like I was like such a little brat. I was like, this is lame. That's not even bloody. His balls are still there. Like I was just a little shit. I was like,
Sure.
where's the blood? But watching it now, I just like it's just I think it's a really important film in this canon of films that doesn't really get talked about as much in terms of like the kind of rape revenge subgenre. I could occupy such an interesting space, but I think
Hmm.
it's a really crucial one. And you know, I'm all about female directed rape revenge, but I think this is one of those rape revenge movies or like rape revenge adjacent movies that I feel like is done with such care and acknowledgement of how serious the issue is and isn't trying to make an exploitative, like titillating film, but more like this really kind of upsetting look at how the internet has like fundamentally shifted. Like, not to say that pedophiles didn't exist, but like has made it so much easier for these things to happen, but
Hmm.
also like then what happens when like you know like what does vigilantism look like in the digital age? And I feel like this is a really cool example of like an early meditation about what vigilantism looks like when we have the internet.
Yeah. Did you get any more of a like a new appreciation out of it now that you've actually made your first rape revenge film? Did you get any
Oh
new
yeah,
appreciation?
especially like the fact that it's just the two of them in a house and like making it visually interesting and like holding that tension. Like that's fucking like it's crazy to watch, but just thinking about that as a director, like Jesus Christ, like that is it's a skill. Like it's really impressive how they're able to maximize that space because it's not easy at all. And they make it look so good here. And I imagine like the horror stories they have, but I just again having my own experience with a smaller space and trying to make it look cool and different and not like, oh, we use the same room for six different things. It's really amazing to see that and just like the direction that Slade has here. I don't know. That's the whole thing is just like technically so impressive.
Well, and it was made on less than $1 million. Like that's
Like,
wild.
man,
That was
That's
made
so
like for
cool.
$800,000. You know, like the fact that he got Elliott Page before Juno popped off. Talk about fucking luck of the draw on that one. Because like
Yeah.
right after Juno
Jesus.
happened, it was just like, oh cool, you're way more expensive now. So
Yep.
like if that budget would have went out the fucking window. Um,
Yeah.
Graham, you said that you were upset after watching it. This upset your day.
No, it's a bummer of a movie, but
It is. It
you
is.
know, I
I mean, it's kind of a
absolutely
bummer of a
enjoyed
movie,
it.
but
No,
like,
no, yeah, but like, it's a great movie. It's a great message, I guess. It's
I would call it a
I
great
super
message.
yeah. I mean, I super loved it. I love what it says and what it represents. Um, but it brings up like stuff that is not fun and comfortable, especially when you work with kids
Yeah.
like and I see weird shit around because these kids are all outside in New York
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and
like I feel like this is I lost my thought as soon as I started talking. I'm so sorry. It
That's
no,
okay.
it's
That
all right.
blew
happens.
out. That was
Dude,
so funny.
my
Anyway,
brain does that
shit.
sometimes too.
Fuck.
I'll bring this up. I'll bring this up because there's also another aspect of it. So I want to talk about the ending because I
Okay.
think a lot of times a movie can be made or
Oh,
broken.
I have
Yeah,
this
what's up?
question real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
If she had died, what is the message?
If she would have died, what is the message? That's a good question because
Whether
a
he
lot.
died or not, say she fell off the roof too,
Hmm.
or he doesn't die and she falls off. Like he gets her.
Oh, dude, if she died and he like gets away or like doesn't fall off of that or whatever, like he's still fucked because, this person that showed up to see him and blah 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 blah. So he's still fucked, but that would make it a considerably worse movie. Like,
I guess like in my and this is actually kind of similar to what I just remembered I was gonna say. Like this is a movie that it's like it rides this really interesting line between like a fantastical like revenge movie and not. Because I feel like there's movies like Revenge that I love but are pure fantasy. Like
right,
it's not grounded whatsoever. And like we love that. And then there's Violation that's like super fucking grounded in like
right.
reality. And
Irreversible, that's another one.
yeah, exactly, that are like very real. They're not they're trying to show like the reality of this hellish situation. And I feel like Hard Candy is a lot of that groundedness, but I do think that because of kind of like Haley's almost like superhuman ability, like psychopathic Dexter-like behavior, makes it feel a little bit more fantastical. And I feel like the ending almost has to be that she wins. You know what I mean? And it's not a bad thing. And I feel like there's just like because it's interesting because in this era, your films are so nihilistic and usually are like, oh no,
That's what
everyone
I'm.
dies and it's
That's what I'm thinking.
fucked.
Like if this was A24
Yeah,
or something, like maybe everyone dies or something. I don't know.
yeah, but I also feel like in this era, to me, it feels very much like, oh well, no, this is very much a fuck the pedophiles movie. Like, yeah, what she's doing is
Yeah.
fucked up, but like we're not. This doesn't. This is kind of a little bit more to me like a black and white. There isn't really like a gr I don't think there's really like as much of a gray. I think there is a little bit, but to me, like it's not really as morally gray as maybe some more A24, like kind of more recent
Right.
movies would be. And I think I don't think it's a bad thing for the film. I think
No,
especially
not
in
it.
the era where like in this post 9/11 era where it is very much like good versus evil, I think that this film is like following in those footsteps. Like, yeah, this chick is fucking crazy, but also she's like killing pedophiles. So like, I think in people mental math, humanity mental math, that cancels out killing pedophile
For sure.
cancels out psychopathy, at least in these films.
Agreed. And I think Slade hammers it in like how he feels exactly by dropping the Roman Polanski line,
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
because
that I
fuck
love
that
that wink,
dude.
wink, nudge, nudge. Like it's straight up is just a great wink, wink. The only other one that he would be able to drop really would be like a Woody Allen or something like that.
Yeah,
Like you know what
yeah.
I mean? Just like doing one of those. But I swear to God, it was just one moment away from like them looking at the camera after dropping the Roman Polanski thing. But here's another question I have because I was thinking about this when I watched it. Like when I bring up Hard Candy, a lot of people don't know that the movie exists. First off,
Hmm.
and a lot of
It's
people that do know it exists just haven't seen it. And That's weird to me because we are now in a post generation of the To Catch a Predator TV like universe, because that happened like not that long ago. So you have a lot of people within this age range of like their 20s and 30s that were very exposed to the To Catch a Predator, TV shows and shit. And that's essentially what this is. Like what Chris Hansen does on that show, having these people go in there and like act like teenagers in these chat rooms and stuff like that to bring these dudes out. Like those shows were through the roof as far as like ratings and like viewers and shit like that. Yet this movie hasn't been popped up into a more, it hasn't been seen enough is basically what I'm trying to say.
I think this movie gets released now, exactly the same, not a remake or anything. Gets released now, it's huge.
You think?
Tons more people are talking about it. I think it came out at a time where, because it is horror, I would recommend this to my horror friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it came out at a time where like independent and horror were sort of blurred and they were kept apart kind of. And I think this got lost between the cracks. Like I think there's like just for me, it was like horror was horror, and it either came out independent and you found it, or it was released in the theater, and it wasn't so much of an independent community
Sure.
as it is now. Um,
Yeah.
and so,
And again,
independent films were huge because of like singles and stuff, and like so I think they kept a lot of that separated. I think they've merged now, and everything turned horror for the better. But I think it fell through the cracks a little bit because I remember hearing about it and then going to see it or renting it. But like, I don't remember a lot of other people telling me about it. Like, I don't even know who told me about it.
Yeah. Mary
I
Beth, what were
think
you gonna
it
say?
well, and I also think like it's not the kind of torture porn movie that people were expecting. I think people were so ready for like a Saw, a Hostel, like the bad guys, or like the
Yeah.
bad guys do bad things and they slice up people all gross, and then the bad guys get what's coming to them, but not really because everything's terrible. Like here, it's like I think it's too real. It's not like there's not enough. There's not really like there's not a metaphor. Like it's just
No.
someone who's a fucking pedophile. There's not like there's a ghost who's a pedophile. You know what I mean? And I feel like
That was on like Scary
like
Movie or something.
yeah.
It was one of the
But like
Wayneses.
but like it's that's like horror is always like a metaphor for something, but especially in this era I feel like people so desperately wanted like a paranormal activity that was scary and obvious, and also like a metaphor if you wanted to think about it, but if you didn't want to think about it, it was just a ghost movie. This movie, it's like
Mm.
no, it's not a metaphor, he's just a sick fuck. And I think like I love that, but I do think at this in this era of like when it came out, people didn't want that. They didn't want the reality. They wanted the monster or like the scary, bloody, gross thing. They didn't want like, oh, there's a pedophile. Like I'm already seeing enough of it on TV and the news type shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that's true, but it feels like, especially just like I've done so much fucking research about this era of film. It's just like people did not want to confront the reality of the world, and not much has changed, but it was like a huge turning point for people being like, no, I don't want to confront the reality of
I don't want to
terrorism and
consume reality.
colonialism and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this movie said, but actually, what if you did confront the reality that a lot of men are pedophiles and they live everywhere and they're not just like weird, creepy old men? Ooh, oh,
Yeah.
too much? Too much?
Yeah, yeah. Too much real for you?
Too much
Um,
real?
I do think also like what Graham, what you said, I think also kind of, I agree that I think if it came out now, and I think, it's kind of agreeing with both of you here, is that if it came out now, it would be a different response. Like people would probably eat this movie up. And I think one of the reasons that like, one of the things that makes me think that that's true is like, if you look at the Saw movies, like Saw X is the first one that has a particular type of revenge angle towards something that's very real, and that's the
Mm.
medical industry, fucking with people and like, taking
They do
money
do
and
that in the other couple other of the movies, I will say.
well, this one I think is the most blatant though. I think like Saw
No,
X was
fair,
like,
fair.
straight up was just like the most blatant one where it's like, "Oh, you told me you cured my cancer, but you didn't fucking do anything. So now I'm going to do all this awful shit." But like that one,
Valid.
like nobody expected Saw X to be good. Like nobody watched said a 10th
I
Saw
didn't.
movie. Yeah, nobody looked at a 10th Saw movie and said, "Oh, that's going to be great." And then it turned out to be one of the best ones in the whole fucking series. And I think a lot of that had to do with it being grounded in reality. In a reality in the sense that like it had to do with being grounded in a real scenario of the pharmaceutical and medical industry being this corrupt piece of shit system. And then, granted, yeah, it was like, fantastical because the guy had to do brain surgery on himself to try to get out of a fucking trap. But, like,
Fucking Saw movie. It's all bullshit. Like we all know
it's
it's all
so
bullshit.
much.
Dig in
So
your
much.
own eye for the key. Suck out
I
your
was
bone
sold by
marrow.
The bone marrow was pretty
the
fucking. Oh.
poster. The poster in that one's pretty great, and
Oh, the eyeballs getting sucked out.
yeah, and
Yeah, yeah.
I do like that it was like his Mexican destination film.
Yeah.
So
Jigsaw
yeah,
goes to Mexico.
I
That's
I
what it
loved
guess,
was.
it.
Yeah.
but like, goddamn, that's just that's so annoying. Like, oh, we're in Mexico, the yellow filter, everyone, because we're in Mexico.
For
Like,
Dude,
sure,
god
yes.
for
damn,
sure.
like, why are we doing this in the year of our Lord 2023?
We
It's
don't need to be
just so,
doing that.
like, guys, come on,
Um,
stop it.
so before we get to the kill list, I want to bring up the ending because the ending, like I was gonna say this earlier, sometimes a movie can be made or broken by the ending. And that
Yeah.
happens a lot. Unfortunately, more often than not, the ending can really like fuck the dog and just make the rest of the movie just be like, oh, well, now the rest of the movie sucks because that was a terrible ending. This is a perfect ending. Like, to me, this ending is probably one of my favorite endings of all time. Just because what she says, put the noose on your head, walk off the edge, I'll erase everything, I won't tell anybody. And he just says, you promise, or something like that. And then he just walks off the edge, and the fact that she like runs over to the edge and is like, or not. And then it's over. It's just like, oh, yes, she's gonna fucking show everybody everything. That's what we wanted. And then, for lack of a better term, she gets away. Like, she skates off into the sunset and she's now going to expose this guy to the world, and everybody
I
that
think
knows him.
I think it's just Janelle shows up and finds that shit. Like the cops obviously get called. That shit's all over the apartment except for her DNA because she cleaned the shit out of it.
Right. Yeah, I think
Eh,
for me it's pitch perfect. Like what do you think, Mary Beth?
well, and like right before that, also, she's like, who am I? Like, I don't know if I'm friends with the girl that you raped and murdered, but actually you just watched happen, but the other guy I killed, like, and she's just like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
she just like, she's playing with his mind, like, and you never know if she, like, what is real. And like, she, again, this is like a character you always see in an adult. You don't see a child doing this. It's not, you're like, a teenager would never do this, but it's like, again, not to make myself, I swear I'm not a psychopath. But like I'm, yeah,
We
like
all have a little bit of a tendency.
Yeah,
I was like
we're
being
not
a weird
sold.
fucking catfish like teenager online. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're sneakier than you think. And I just love that she is very much just like, I got you, and you took it, you completely like took me for granted, and you have no idea who I am or why I'm doing this. All that you know is that I've got you, bitch. And it's just, she's always in control even when it seems like she's not, and these final moments, it's just so much in control. I just, it's like this makes me think of like what Promising Young Woman I feel like wanted to be, you know what I mean? I
Sure.
fucking hate that movie so much forever. So just like, I don't know. This movie is so mean, and also I think fulfilling a fantasy in a way, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's like a really interesting film that exists in that weird border between like the fantastical rape revenge and the more grounded.
Sure.
And I like how it weaves in and out of that in a really interesting way to create something that's really unique, but isn't like, it's a uniquely fucked up movie in a
Yeah.
way that you don't expect it to be. Like, it just fucks with your head so
Yeah.
much.
And it's a movie that you literally feel. Like it's one of those things where I always say, like, if a movie is
Yeah.
successful, you feel something. And at the
Yep.
end of this movie, like you're full of feelings. You're in
A
most,
bunch.
yeah, a whole bunch of them. And
I,
like, I don't,
I made a story about it.
yeah, he's
You
like,
sure did. It
he's
was
like, I was
great.
upset, and now we're gonna have to talk about it tonight. But like, it's also one of those things. I don't think it's off base to say that most people with any kind of a moral grounding or a moral compass at all, have had, you know, that thought in their head where it's like, "Pff, if I could kill a pedophile, I could probably do it." Like, I mean, everybody wants to damage a pedophile. Like, if you're a good person
Yeah.
at all, you want to damage a pedophile, like straight up. So
Yeah.
this movie is mean. This movie is calculated. It is makes you feel all the icks, but it also makes you feel all like that vengeance inside of you that I think anybody that has any experience at all with somebody who's older being touchy or gross or anything like that, that's where you're kind of like, "Oh, fucking cut that dude's balls off." Like, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
cut
do
those
Okay.
yeah,
Got
and then
him.
yeah.
fuck with him mentally for hours in the broad daylight. In
Yeah.
broad fucking daylight. That's what I love. It's like, oh yeah, they're just on the roof in the middle of the day. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it. It
No
was just so
darkness.
great. Oh, no
Yeah.
darkness. Just
You
like
get to see,
exposing his nasty ass, no matter, and like she doesn't care.
yeah.
Get
Yeah.
him.
It's
Fucking fuck
absolutely beautiful.
men. Sorry, but you know, fuck
Well, listen,
No,
pedophiles.
no, agree.
we're on the
And
same team. Fuck dudes. Like
um,
we don't like them. Like
also one thing, I now I can't get it out of my fucking head. But how did he get his
okay,
pants back on?
that's funny. I don't know.
I
How did he get
missed. Me and my wife were like, because
How did he
all
get
of a
his
sudden
pants
she's
back on?
dragging him around and he's got his pants on. I was like, that would have been a crazy scene. Putting
Him
pants
trying to
back
shimmy his
on
pants back
after
on?
that.
Yeah,
Oh, and there was
that
like
is.
no blood and stuff. I thought about it a lot, but I guess she had. Oh, did she use a clip too? Was that like a
Oh,
folder clip?
I thought she didn't even.
She didn't cut his balls off.
She doesn't cut his.
No.
She fucked with him. She didn't actually castrate him.
Yeah. That was all to fuck with him. That was so
What did
didn't.
she? What did she throw down the?
It was like something. Like it was like she pretended it was his balls, but it
Yeah.
wasn't
So
actually.
that actually makes that scene so much crazier because
Wait,
yeah,
she
she
didn't
doesn't.
castrate him.
No, she doesn't actually castrate him. That was all mental torture. That was all mental. That was
Yeah.
mental
How did I
manipulation.
miss that?
That was one of the big. So during that scene, that actually makes Elliott Page's acting so much like crazier, like crazy good because like when Haley's doing quote unquote doing the procedure and she's like, "Oh, that was so much easier than I
Oh, it's my
expected."
favorite. Was
Yeah,
that
and she was like, yeah, she's like fucking with him while she's like basically telling him like, I just cut your balls off and like that was such a simple procedure. Like I didn't even have to do anything. Like
See, this whole time I thought she cut his balls off.
no, that was that also
No,
like
it's even better because he's like, you cut my balls off, and she's like, no, I didn't. Hey,
she's like,
hey,
no, you just had
got
to think that I
you.
did the whole time.
So was that clip just clipping his balls to make him feel like he had?
Well, the ice numbing thing, which is
That
also
yeah,
this
yeah.
so this is why I also
This
think the
makes my
ice numbing
pants question fully non.
well, it would still be a pain. It would still be difficult for him to get his pants on after
Well, it
everything else was
explains no
happening.
blood.
True.
Yeah, that's why there's no blood because she didn't actually cut his balls
Son of a
off.
bitch.
Yeah. No, she didn't actually cut
Well,
his balls off.
metaphorically, she did. There's your metaphor.
100%, yeah.
There it is. There
That's-
she is.
that's the
There she
metaphor right there.
blows.
Yeah, no, she just made him think that he got his dick and balls cut
Son of
off
a bitch.
for the final like whatever was probably like 30 minutes of his life. So he had to think about that the whole time. And then he thought he got away. You know, he thought that he got away from having his fucking dick and balls cut off, and then they had to go to the roof and he had his little hanging party. And then again, that was, you know, this is one of those times when the vigilante wins, the bad guy loses, and she goes off into the sunset. And to me, the ending of the movie seems like she's gonna go do it again, you know, because she did it with what's his face, whoever his
Not
partner
cut
was.
somebody's balls. See, all right. I don't know if it makes it better. I think cutting his balls off would have been fine.
Well, okay, so here's the
But
thing about that.
I think if she did, it would have been such a bigger mess to clean up and figure out.
That's true. Also, it's a lot
less.
less of a like she did something to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she
like
didn't do
she
anything.
didn't actually
So-
physically
yeah.
harm him. So like if anything was traced back, yeah.
So yeah, it
exactly.
does make it better, but
And if
I
you think
still
about-
like
if
it
you-
the same. I guess. Well, I like it more now. I guess.
So if you
Anyway,
think
yeah,
about,
good job. Thanks.
Now-
Me.
now-
I watched it kind of high.
A little
It
high.
just come from drip.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like if you look at the whole movie, she never really did anything to him physically.
No.
Like there was never all
Well,
of it
the
was his
tase
own.
in the tub, which
tase
I
in the
think
tub-
should have been lethal.
I guess tying someone up is like kind of fucked up.
It's
But
kidnapping, which is illegal, I guess.
I
But what-
guess.
But like, if you think about it, everything that he did, everything that happened to him that was of grave consequence, would have been his own doing.
Yep.
No matter what, she never stabbed him, she never shot him, she never actually cut his balls off, she never did any of that stuff. That was all him being in the moment of the mental torture. But like, as far as him dying, she didn't kill anybody. She told him to walk off the edge.
The
She told him.
mental manipulation powers of a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Right? Towards a fucking dumbass pedophile. Yeah. So
Terrifying.
yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, so she's the one that tells him to walk off the edge. He does it, and then, off to her next one. Which, round of applause for that. That's how you end a fucking rape revenge movie. Like, yeah, go get the next one. Like, go fucking get him.
Yeah, standing
Go get
O.
him.
Standing Sandra O. So yeah, I guess no, that I like it a lot more. That also like because I was like, well, he's gonna kill himself. He was talking about if he didn't have balls, he didn't want to live anyway. So like, this isn't that big of a jump for him. But I guess it was because he still had those. So. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah,
well played.
She literally
Haley.
talked him into killing himself. So
Haley,
we're all on Team Haley.
Women.
Yes.
Yeah, did I bring up that I want to name my next little girl kitten Candy after this movie?
Oh,
And
that's
after the
fantastic.
Morphine song, which is beautiful, and also because Candy's great, and also because it sounds like a stripper.
It does.
yeah, all right, cool.
So there's like four great reasons.
Just checking all the boxes.
It's all fantastic.
So I thought it was a good name. We got Freddie. She's my little girl kitten now, and she just cuddles all day. That's what I did today. I just got stoned, watched this, and cuddled with Freddie. And
well, fuck you. That sounds great.
It was pretty great. It was pretty great.
Stop bragging. It's
It's funny. Also, in the next week, I'm doing an episode with another friend of the show, Alicia Messier. We're doing Candyland, which is another fucking wild movie.
Hell yeah, that would be fucking rips.
Yeah. So many people haven't seen that movie, and I'm like,
I
fuck
know.
you gotta watch it.
It's so
I love that.
It looks like a splatterpunk book.
It does.
It does. Yeah. It does look like a splatterpunk book. That's a very good way to put it. It does.
I do love that when I watched it, like the random Baldwin showed up. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here?
Always a random Baldwin showing
just
up.
A random
where
Baldwin.
the fuck?
Yeah. Well, that was fantastic. I'm glad you guys were here for it. This was a fun talk about a wonderful movie that more people absolutely need to fucking watch. And especially like in the pantheon of rape revenge movies, this one is like one of the outskirts that I think a lot of people just don't really have seen, sought out, and more people should. It's like it's all over the place. It's on like Tubi, it's on Prime, it's all over the place. But MaryBeth, do you think that you can do our new kill list? You think you got it in you?
I think so.
All right, Graham, you want to throw
some
reading
questions?
It? Yeah,
you said you did it.
No, I mean I did it with the first one.
This is your show,
but you're on this one, so you get this. The kill list is your thing.
All right, let's see. Number 1, we've changed it. It's kind of similar. Chucky or Pinhead?
I'm that annoying person. Like, is it just like off the dome? Like, of like what?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Interpret it however you want.
Pinhead, I think. Pinhead.
Yeah.
What movie would you remake?
Black Christmas.
Ooh. If you could erase one movie from existence, what would it be?
Jeepers Creepers. Creepers.
That's a good one. I don't think we've had somebody say that one, but that's an excellent one.
He came up in conversation when we were talking about consuming media from people that are pieces of shit. And it's because we were talking about, or like consuming media from people that have problematic opinions. And it's because in our last episode, we were talking politics. We got real spicy and we talked about the Damien Leone thing. And I was like, Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. And like no, and that's fine. We don't worry. We went in hard. But like I was
We
talking about
did.
that and I kind of said like it's like I can forgive people for working on a Damien Leone movie, but if you work on a Victor Salva movie, fuck you forever. Like,
Yeah, fuck you forever.
like
I'm
those
sorry,
are
but like he, yeah, it, and you know what? Some people can divorce that. I have a really hard time,
no,
especially with shit like that, with like pedophile. Like, yeah, fuck you, dude. And also, it's like in the
absolutely fucking
movie. It's
not.
like my hard time with all that shit too is so often like, but you can see the like a lot of the time you can see the politics in the movies. Like, if you know,
Yeah. Ick.
anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
ick,
So
fucking
Jeepers
ick.
Creepers is a great answer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
we can just eradicate that one. Just get that out of
Love
there.
it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Alien or Aliens?
Alien.
With the quickness on that one too. Yeah.
Alien. Hmm.
People,
I just like the pacing. I love that like fucking slow, creepy,
I
nasty.
do.
It's just
I go
perfect.
with Alien.
It's
Ryan goes with Aliens, and I can't really fight him on it. They're two great
yeah, they're
movies.
incredible. It's
One of
just
them
Alien
is
has this,
way more an action film
oh
than
yeah.
the other is a horror.
Yeah.
But action horror is pretty fucking rad. I'm into it. Um,
Alien is a beautifully dark film. Like absolutely creepy, claustrophobic. Fucking yeah. It's
and if
great.
you want horror action, I don't think there's anything better than Project Wolf Hunting right now. So
Oh,
Oh,
it's so good.
yeah,
So good.
it's my favorite.
Oh, it's so
It's my
good.
wife's literal favorite. I
Oh,
come home and
fucking
she's watching
amazing.
it.
It's so
Um,
fucking
it's
good.
so
Told
good.
so many people about that movie.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
you.
know. I'm
fucking
like, y'all
watch
want
it
to watch a
now.
crazy ass Resident Evil movie on a boat?
Yeah.
Watch
Fucking
this.
Con Air with a Predator. Like,
I
Yeah.
know,
So
Con Air with a
perfect.
Predator
yeah.
on a
All right.
fucking boat.
Hmm.
Number 5, basement or attic?
Oh fuck, this is a hard one for me. I think attic because you can jump out the window.
I like
Okay.
that.
So Attic is the one that you would escape to because you can jump out the window.
Yeah, attic
Yep.
to me is a little bit easy. If I have to pick a place to go, I feel like attic is easy. It's like the hereditary vibe. He jumps through the window. I feel like the
Yeah.
basement's harder to climb out of, but you can jump. And like, you know what? I'll break an arm. I'll break a leg.
Mhm.
We'll see.
As long
It's
as
also
you're
more
out of the house, yeah.
As
more
long as
fuck
you're out.
it's more fucked up shit in the basement too.
Also,
Um,
like, if I really want to, you can stomp through that. You can like really stomp through the floor if you need to, and like let's go then just like get through the
it's
floor.
Motherfucker
much
fell through the
harder to
ceiling.
punch up.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and last one, favorite kill of all time.
Oh shit.
This answer can change hourly, but yeah,
Yeah,
like
Favorite kill of all time. Uh fuck.
it's a tough one, right?
Fuck. Yeah, it is a tough one. Cause you know what? I'm looking at like my pin board of like some of my horror movie pins, and I actually really think that the end of Amateur Night, the VHS segment where they're filming her and she's the succubus and she like, and I just think that might like that whole thing contains just
It's
like
pretty
the
great.
best kill sequences of all time in my head. I think it's pretty close.
That's pretty fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new movie called Succubus that has Ron Perlman in it?
No.
I
It's
just saw it's on Tubi, right?
yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
really good. Like it's
Is
way
it?
yeah.
It looked like ass when I was got a
Yeah,
PR about it because
dude.
it looks like shit.
It
Sorry,
looked
but
no, it looked terrible. Like when I posted about it, I said, "What a fucking surprise that was," because it looked like absolute hot shit. Like not good at
How
all.
do you see?
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
my Tubi roulette is not hitting lately. I've watched some weird shit that's or just boring. Like,
This
and
one,
I used to be really good at that, but I think I think I've like tricked myself. Like I'm like, well, that looks like it'll be bad, which means it'll look good. But then I like overthink it.
sure.
and
No, the Tubi
I
roulette.
just end up watching Toad Road.
Well,
Oh,
fair.
what
That's
a
fair.
good fucking
That's
movie
fair.
It
though.
was
Yeah.
good, but it
Jesus.
was like
Yeah.
not what I was in the mood for, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's like pretty, it's like a pretty rough one where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is about addiction. Oh, fuck. This actually is like really
Yeah.
upsetting. Oh, god
Right.
damn it.
Yep.
I
Son of a
watched it like, oh, this
bitch.
will be cool and like psychedelic. I'm like, no, this is about, oh, fuck. I'm having emotions. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me about of a lot of people I grew up with too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it captures a very specific kind of vibe that
Yep.
is like,
Hmm.
oh, when you identify with it, you're like,
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. No, Succubus is way better than it has any right to be. So definitely check
oh,
it out.
if you like Toad Road, you should watch Fat Tuesday. It's on Tubi, I
Ooh,
think. The slasher Fat Tuesday by the same
yes.
guy, the guy who edited Toad
Frat
Road.
or fat?
Fat, like
Okay.
like
Yeah.
Mardi Gras, Fat
Yeah, yeah,
Tuesday.
okay.
It's this like super like lo-fi slasher that they filmed in the streets of New Orleans during Mardi Gras. It's like super weird and
Okay,
cool.
It
cool.
rules. Yeah, it's really fun.
All
Oh, you've
right, I'll
seen
check
it?
that.
I have seen it.
Yeah, it's a female serial killer too. It's like
Yeah.
super cool.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right.
Big
Sweet.
fan.
Yeah,
Um
cool.
yeah, those were fucking great answers. Now
Thank
with
you.
the new questions, the questions change up quite a bit. My favorite kill this
They
week
don't
is
really.
I mean they do. We throw different ones in every now and then. My favorite kill this week is Dewey from Scream 6. That's my favorite kill this week.
Oh, I also wanted to say, because we're talking about 30 Days of Night, like the whole like bird's eye view slaughter sequence in 30 Days of
Oh,
Night, where they're
Yeah.
like showing just like the silent massacre of the town. Like that is so fucking good in terms of just like massive on-screen carnage of like the unlike anything you have seen. It's just like
mm-hmm.
so
He
fucked.
took all the good part. Well, the whole book was great, but he was able to take parts of the book that stood out and put them to
Yeah.
screen in a
Yeah.
very non uh who did the like the spirit and those movies,
Oh, it's
those were
Frank Miller.
Yeah,
yeah
Frank Miller.
those were a little like too on the nose, you know, like
Yeah, well,
I felt
he really took the story, but like because he has his own aesthetic and like
right.
style, it feels like a comic book movie without it being like that like cool sketchy feel. Like it's a comic book
Exactly,
movie. It's like
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, like he has his own sense of style that like makes it feel sleek without it being like, look, it's black and white. Woo, cool.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of the allure of the comic, you know, like
Yeah. Oh, and
so
the guy who did the art in the comic so good. He's one of my
yeah,
favorites.
yeah.
I love his work.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Well, those were like again fantastic answers. We'll do some quick recommendations. Um,
Son of a
I
bitch.
know, Graham. I'm sorry.
No, I got
Um,
some, I guess.
I'm gonna recommend music wise. I want to recommend the new Spirit Box album. I know
Oh, hell yeah,
I
mother.
recommended it recently, but I re-listened to it again. It's so fucking good, front to back. And also, Courtney LaPlante is such a good vocalist.
Yeah, what the
Abs
fuck?
so dude,
It's
fucking one of my
gross.
favorites. Um,
Nasty.
streaming, watch Hard Candy. Fucking watch it on Tubi and watch Bystanders because both of those
Hey,
movies
watch
fucking rule.
Bystanders. Hard Candy Bystanders double feature, I feel like is a good time. Or unless you want to be like really angry. Depends on like what a good time is for you. But for me, it's a good
Start
time.
with hard candy.
Yeah.
Yes, start
Yeah.
with
And
Hard
on
Candy. Yeah,
bystanders, I
Yeah. That's
think.
a good. Yeah.
yeah. No, I think
Fair.
it's a great double feature because it's both vigilante. It's both. You know what? I'm gonna let people watch Bystanders and get all that stuff out of it. And then physical media, the one I was talking about earlier, that me and Mary Beth have talked about, is this one right here, MFA. So good.
A perfect film. A perfect
Like,
film.
there's no fat to trim on that movie
Ah,
whatsoever. And
perfect.
as far as a rape revenge movie goes, I mean, Francesca Eastwood is the main star,
Oh,
and she knocks it out of the fucking park. And it's one of those movies that I never see come up on lists or anything. Like
never does.
it kind of fell onto the wayside or whatever.
But the woman who wrote MFA co-wrote the script for the new Final Destination movie, and I'm so
Fuck
Cool.
yeah.
fucking stoked. Leah McKendrick, she fucking rules. So she wrote MFA and she co-wrote the new Final Destination movie, and I just think that's fucking neat.
That fucking rules.
Yeah,
Um,
so I just like saying that because it's like, yeah, she's fucking cool, guys.
Yeah.
Watch
No,
MFA.
that is, dude. And yeah, MFA is like, dude, MFA is up there in like my top 5 for rape revenge films now.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Graham, what do you got?
I got New Dead Pioneers, Post
Mm,
American. It's fucking amazing. Greg Deal, who we had on the podcast, Native American. Just he says Indian a lot. It's mostly Bad Indian was the first album, I think, or at least one of the songs. But it's incredible. It's more just fantastic punk rock with a little bit of idols in there in some
ooh,
of it,
nice.
I guess. And then a lot of great spoken word. It's funny and sad at the same time, and a big fuck you. I love that. And I'm gonna Sophia Hunter has a new song, Tenfold
Mm,
video. It's filthy. I love her. She's incredible. And always listen to Blood Command.
yeah.
Always.
Fuck yeah. You got anything else, Graham?
Let's see. What have I been watching? The Floor. I've been
Oh
watching
yeah.
The Floor. Oh, I started watching Love on the Spectrum, and it's really great. It
Oh
makes
yeah.
me cry, and it's wonderful.
It's a
It's one of those.
fantastic show. That
Yeah,
probably
it's
makes RFK Jr. squirm because he's a fucking cunt.
yeah. Fuck that dude.
Fuck you, you piece of shit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, the Tim Dillon
Choke.
special is kind of funny.
Dude, it's way funnier than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, he goes in on RFK Jr.
He
and it's
really
pretty
does.
great.
Yeah. Mary Beth, what do you got for some recommendations?
Okay, so I was just in San Francisco for the Unnamed Footage Festival, and I spent way too much money on Blu-rays. Uh, but
That's me.
I'm scared to pull them off that giant stack because they're it's
That's
gonna
okay.
fall. But two that I bought that I was very excited about, In Memoriam, which is the 2005 found footage movie that no one talks about, directed by a woman. It's told all through surveillance cameras. And
Ooh.
Vinegar Syndrome Release just released it, did a re-release of it. You could only find it on YouTube for a while. It is incredible film. So please check that out, especially if like you were into found footage history, like post Blair Witch, pre Cloverfield and Paranormal Activity. Um, and then Looky Loo, new found footage, fucking weird ass, scary ass, Poughkeepsie Tapes-esque like found footage movie that is
Ooh.
on Blu-ray now and is coming to VOD later this year.
What's it called?
Looky Loo,
Looky Loo.
and you should watch Bystanders on Tubi.
You
You should.
absolutely
You
should.
should. You should, in fact, when you're done listening to this episode, you should immediately put on Bystanders on Tubi.
You
Like,
should
fucking
you
do that.
should listen to this. You should smoke a joint, watch Bystanders, have a good time. That's how
Fucking
I
A
would do
right.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
how I
That's how
might
I
actually do it.
recommend you watch it.
It is. It's such a fucking fun movie for a rape
Yeah.
revenge. Wow. Like
Yeah,
I smile most of the movie.
Legit.
you're
Like,
welcome.
yeah, like
Yeah.
legit. Like there was a smile on my face for almost that entire movie. Like,
Yeah.
which is that
It's
is
just
a
weird when
fucking
you're like
feat.
It's
watching a
weird.
rape
Like,
revenge. You're like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
shouldn't be this
It's
stoked.
weird.
Not only like
So weird.
smiling, but like giddy at certain
Yeah.
points. Like, it's fantastic. And if you're part of the army of the goddamned, you just heard this episode, so we don't need to like name all you guys
Before
off on
anybody
this one.
else.
Yeah, you guys heard it. You guys saw this episode a
We
week
love
before
you.
anybody else.
Tell your
Um,
friends.
Patreon.com/AGHP666. And as far as everybody listening around the world, I don't have all those stats, but we love every single one of you motherfuckers, everybody from the United States all the way to the United Arab Emirates or the Turks and Caicos Islands, like, and all the
Mostly
people in
Canada.
between. Yeah, a lot of Canada. We fucking love all you guys. And also, shit's hard right now. The world's crazy, and we need you guys around. So stick around. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, any thoughts, anything in your head that's swimming around that you need to get out of your fucking system, hit us up. We don't have answers, but we'll listen. We will be the shoulders for you to cry on, and we'll listen until you get all of it out of your system. We need you guys here. Horror fans got to stick together. So stick around, listen to more episodes, and in the meantime, start some fires, break some glass. We love you guys.
Woo!